Okay, so let me paint the situation. You have a business and you need to scale. You need to get new customers, you need to grow, but you have a problem. As you make more money, you have added expenses, but you need to duplicate yourself. You need to hire someone that can do some of the work so it frees up some of your time so that you can then go and grow the business. But the catch 22, the problem that you have is that the more money you need to make so much extra money in profitability to be able to stop doing what you're doing and hire someone to do it. So let me give you an example. You start a cleaning business, you start doing the jobs, and you are making enough to do the jobs, but you're getting tired and you can't take on any more jobs. So, in order to take on more jobs, you need to hire someone to do the cleaning. But you need to be able to pay them a adequate wage so that they'll stick around. And so you are going to invest your time, your energy, and all that stuff into having them do the work, allowing you to not have to do the actual technical work and actually go out and be salesy and entrepreneurial and grow the business. How are you supposed to do this when you don't have the funds? Well, there's a solution, and the solution is lead flows. What are lead flows? Lead flows allow you to scale and replicate and do repetitive tasks that you normally would have to pay someone to do. Let me give you an example. Let's look from a sales perspective. What do you need to do as a salesperson? If you hire a salesperson or you're going to do it, what do you need to do? Well, you need to create a list, right? You need to get a list of target accounts of possibilities. Now, what you need to do, now you need to spend the time to reach out to these people. But that's time consuming. As you reach out to those people, it's a low value task, meaning that if you're calling them or emailing them or doing cold calls, cold outreach, it's low value, but it's very necessary to do it. But if you hire someone of low value to do it, someone that's new and doesn't have any experience, they're not going to be able to be you, talk like you, sell like you, and be able to create the demand that you can create because you are passionate and you know your business. You are your company's best salesperson. So what would you do? Well, you'd get the list. Then what would you do? Well, would you call them? Would you email them? If you email them, what would you say? Then you sit back and you're going to email and personalize each email. I mean, it starts getting where you just have to. There's so much you need to do that you can't do it. So what a lot of people do is they just kind of wing it. They kind of stuck in nowhere zone. They have enough to get by, but they don't have enough to grow. They might need some cash infusion, but what are you going to do with that cash infusion? Are you going to buy equipment? Are you going to buy so, office equipment? Are you going to invest in some employees? Are you going to what? How are you going to do? What are you going to do? Well, the beauty of lead flows is what they are is they do what salespeople will do. Now, salespeople have three primary tasks, right? There is the prospecting, lead generation, there's the closing, and then there's the maintaining, right? Or expanding accounts, keeping the connection, staying in front of the customers, making sure they're happy, what have you. And what happens with salespeople is they spend very little time prospecting. They spend and therefore they spend a little time closing because they don't have the time to prospect, because what they end up doing is putting out fires, helping fix orders that didn't go right. They're doing all the things that they shouldn't be doing, but they have to. Now, a lot of salespeople gravitate towards that because they don't really know what to do and aren't comfortable with prospecting, lead generation, closing. Those are harder skills. They require us to face fears and to put ourselves out there. Whereas maintaining relationships, going somewhere where you know someone likes you, what have you, it's a different description. It's a different skill set. And hiring someone that's going to be good at prospecting, closing, maintaining, and keeping those relationships is very difficult. So with lead flows, what you can do is you can utilize lead flows to offset the skill sets of your salespeople. So lead flows, what are they? Lead flows are digital salespeople that do the activities that you normally would hire or have your salesperson do. So, as an example, they would send an email. They would send a phone call. If someone opens up that email, they would say, "Oh, this one person's opened it. Maybe I should call them." If someone replies, you're going to go, "Oh, someone's replied. They asked for more information. I'll send them more information." Well, lead flows are all the things that you would do, all the different tactics that execute the strategy. So salespeople then can offset a lot of those tasks to lead flows, a lot of the referrals, a lot of the follow up. And that's where the gold is, right? It's in the follow up. So you can create lead flows to call, to email, to text, to respond, to uh, segment your leads, allowing you and freeing up your time so that you can focus on actually reaching out to prospects that are genuinely interested and maintaining relationships, but not fully. You can implement lead flows to reach out to your existing customers on a certain basis. They'll send emails and newsletters and videos and all of these things. You just have to set it up. Now, for some people, it sounds very daunting, but lead flows are not. If you can point and click and type, you can implement lead flows. So that's what we're going to talk about. That's what I'm going to show you. That's where what I'm so excited about is because the things I didn't like doing as a salesperson, the things that I ended up getting uh, inundated with other things that I couldn't prospect properly, I couldn't follow up properly. The lead flows offset that. And we all know that the data says that 45% of salespeople only follow up once. 85% of people never follow up more than 3 times. And it's like 92% follow up, 5 times, and that's it. And we know that customers need to have constant contact with you. They need to be engaged with you and your brand. They need to develop trust. And you can't always be there. What you can do is you can have your lead flows, your assistants, your mini salespeople do those tasks. So that's what we're going to talk about.